I'll say goodbye now.
Riley?
Listen up, this is the Quattro.
I'd be interested to know what you guys think will wreck first.
I've added so much weight now.
Our rims showed up. We took a master off of a 3/4 ton Silverado, I think. This is literally the easiest engine install I've ever done. Monday, Tuesday, while it's getting wrapped, I gotta go over my truck. I gotta fix the one oil leak yet and just make sure that it's good to go. Okay, so this is our twin disc clutch, and this intermediate plate needs to be able to slide up and down like this to disengage the clutch. It can't bind in between these pegs. I had to file a little bit off, and I worked great at -10, but I figured better put it in the oven, get it up to 350, and make sure that when it got up to temperature, it still is able to go up and down, and it does. So before my wife catches me, better take that back in the shop, and yeah, that's about the only thing. I don't know what temperatures clutches actually get up to, but 350 is a good start. That's a big change from the -15 because it was outside. So if it's a pile more, I can't see it expanding that much more. We can't have it vibrating this way, and we can't have it be able to move around like that. So it's centered now, and it's able to slide up and down, and that's exactly what we want. So I love you, honey. Thank you. Okay, so this is our oil pan that's designed specifically for road racing, and what makes it unique is this little center section in the middle here. The oil pickup comes in the middle, and on the sides there's all these little flaps, these little trap doors that open up. And what happens is oil goes behind the trap doors, and as you make a corner, all your oil sloshes to one side, and the oil that's, think of it as a reserve, is kept there and leaks through those trap doors, and makes it so that your pump doesn't cavitate, so that it doesn't starve for oil. There's a constant fresh feed of oil coming to that strainer. If you don't have this and you go on a road course, you're gonna cavitate and you're gonna destroy your bearings really, really quickly. So hopefully most of the other guys at the race there have this. We also put in our fill tubes on the sides here. So our turbo returns are gonna come through a cooler. So the oil gets pumped to the turbos, gets nice and hot, and then gets pumped all the way back to the front through the scavenge pumps. There's a nice little cooler there. It was a Ford power steering cooler from Tuesday, worked out really well. Gets pumped in again, so we got a constant fresh stream of oil coming in to the sides here as well. So we shouldn't run into cavitation issues. Okay, so we got quite a bit more done, and this is basically just assembling stuff. We got our power steering pump off of a Corvette, thanks to Tuesday. So that line runs to the brakes, comes into the brakes, comes right back out again. The brakes have a return, which will end up going back to our reservoir. Stefan grabbed this remote reservoir from somewhere. I don't know. Oh, dang it, it's gonna break.
I had to get some Ford parts in it just because.
Once it comes out of the return out of the steering, it'll go to a cooler, and then from the cooler it'll go back to the return, and then the brake will go back to the return. I'm really happy with how this corner all looks. I got all the hoses kind of going in a nice neat way. I could have made this one shorter. I don't know why I did that, but if I routed it to the side here, it would look kind of funny, so I just kind of looped it around a hump. The brake reservoir is a good fit there, as long as I still have to mount it properly, securely, and make sure that the wipers don't hit it. But we've got our oil feed line coming out of the oil pan, which is the front one on the oil pan, and that goes into the filter here. As soon as it comes back out again, it goes to the back fitting on the oil pan and then tees off, and this tee ends up feeding the turbos at the back. This is the only steel part here. I'll probably drill this in a couple spots just so we can put a boost gauge. I think I will still put a manual boost gauge on it. Just less distracting from all the other gauges that are going to be on the iPad. And this is actually the one that we brought to the dyno with Matt Happel. So I don't see any issue with it being in here. We'll block off this. We just have to block off this once we're happy with it, where everything is. This is the pump for the transmission. So this comes from the drain at the bottom of the transmission. It'll go to a cooler at the front, and then that will get pumped back to the side of the transmission or the fill plug. There's a lot of Ford parts on here. These are the Ford power steering coolers, but they're cute little coolers and work nice with the half-inch hoses. So these are the returns from the turbos, so the scavenge pumps, so we'll cool those. Originally I was going to put the coolers in the bumper, and then I don't know what I was thinking. Doesn't make any sense, because then we can still pull the whole bumper off. It's really just these 3 bolts here. And then the skid plate underneath, and the whole front bumper's off. So this light bracket's broken, but the one on the parts car is still good, so we'll get that. This one's just a bit more sturdy. I think we'll still have to build something, maybe even just the bottom here to the frame. I don't know. Coolers end up back in the oil pan, just nicely right on either side, and that keeps the oil nice and full on either side of the oil pan, so we don't get any cavitation there. So these are clamps for conduit, I think, something like that. I was talking to my neighbor. He does HVAC stuff, and he had these laying around. So these are holding our intake pipe in place, and it fits just perfect. And it doubles as another clamp in the middle of the boot to keep it from swelling. So it's win-win. This is from a Duramax, and Stefan made a beautiful bracket.
It's more rivets than bracket.
Yeah,
it works.
Oh well, rivets are light.
Yeah.
So if we have an overheating issue, we'll just put a 100 PSI cap on there, and that seems to fix things, I guess. I don't know.
That's what I see on YouTube.
There's rumors going around. I don't know. We'll see if that works or not. We got to bleed the brakes one more time. We will be using .5, and we just vacuum bled the master, like the pedal's hard. We still got a little bit of air in there, so then we'll pump them all out and get some nice .5 in there. This rad is in upside down, so the top fill port is actually at the bottom and the drain is at the top. What we're gonna do is I drilled and tapped the drain to a 1/4-inch pipe, and then we'll put a little hose going up to the top corner there with just a tap on it. And then if we do have air pockets, they should kind of end up back here, and just basically just crack the tap until coolant starts coming out, and then we should have that pretty well bled. And then the bottom port will still work with the overflow tank. So basically trap the air in the bottle. We'll if we have to, we'll pick it up with the forklift. We'll probably run into more issues when we start bleeding it, but we'll worry about that later.
Probably lots of leaks.
Oh yeah, lots of leaks. I'm not looking forward to that.
Made a seagull.
It's fun, just having fun in art class.
Yeah, it's fun.
For the fuel.
Kind of like that.
So that doesn't move. Still the mock engine in there, but we're just about done mocking stuff up. We'll get the coffee table out of the car, and then we'll actually put an engine in it.
Coffee table powered Audi.
So a couple problems right off the bat. This is the oil sensor port, and it is actually up quite a bit higher. And because we have our intake facing backwards, it's in the way. So I had him tap it and put a plug in there because all of this is dead. And you can see that all the oil ports for the cylinder deactivation are plugged. So I just had to cut it lower, tap it with a 3/8 tap, and put the plug in deeper, and then just cut a bit off. And this, I think, is the sensor for the cam. You can just see it. There's no way to hold it down though. I don't know why that's there. But that doesn't fit either, so we've got our cam sensor off the front timing cover. So bolt that back up again. There's 45 minutes lost. Anyway, look at these beautiful ported heads. Very nicely done. Got another problem though. When we bolt this down, it rocks a little bit. See that? That's no good. If you turn it around, it doesn't do that. It's actually hitting on the little nubs there, right down the center. So it's hitting on these nubs. some of these anyway. We'll take them off. No big deal. So I kept turning it as I was pulling it in, and right at the very end here, I can turn it about 340 degrees, and just one spot it feels like the flywheel's hitting the inside of the bell housing. So we'll take it apart again, see what's going on. I might have to shave a hair more off. So here goes. All right, goes all the way around, but it makes one tiny little scuff mark still on that side, I think. But that will go away very quickly. So I think it's time to put her in. Go to your home. That's your home. Go to your home. This is literally the easiest engine install I've ever done. It's perfectly balanced if you have all the weight on this chain. This chain doesn't have as much. And you just drive right in, set it down, and put it on the mount. So I just gotta lower it down, and I think that's it. Okay, so one of our first videos, we poured new bushings for basically all the undercarriage. When it was upside down, I was reefing on it, and I could notice a little bit of play. And the bushing, the center actually came right out of it. And I'm wondering if I installed them too early, and it has a big range of motion. When you rotate this A-arm, it actually twists a little bit. Like it only goes in one spot. And I'm thinking that it actually wore the inside of the bushing out like before it actually had a full time to cure. So thanks to your comments, I found that company in Poland, or I think it's Poland. Anyway, we ordered the bushings around Christmas time, and they just showed up at 5:15. UPS pulled in and delivered them. Pulled them back out again and just did these bushings. We got all of them, and we'll probably do them later. But they seemed tight enough. It was just these two, which actually had quite a bit of slop and just made me a little bit nervous. So yeah, always the last minute. And it's like 11 o'clock, and I still have like 8 hours of work to do. So here we go. Nice and tight. So I made a good video on I'm so happy with this, except it doesn't line up. So I'm not very happy with it, because now I'm still going to be throwing belts. Anyway, well, we'll get it. So basically I just got to shave a 1/4 inch. It actually works out to pretty well exactly a 1/4 inch off a straight edge off of the front main pulley. So I'll line this up. I'm not a machinist at all. I just kind of goof off with the lathe a little bit, so I don't know how true this is, because it's cutting it on two sides and not in the middle, so I guess we'll split the difference. It'll be straight when we're done. It is running, when it starts rocking, it is running lean. Because the ported heads. Alright, so we are on the way to sticker it. They have been doing my graphics on everything that I've ever done for the last 10 years. He does all the DeBoss stickers on windshields, every piece of equipment that I've painted. It's funny, I usually have older equipment painted, but tell him to, I give him some measurements and tell him to go online and take a Google image of the newest equipment and get those stickers, and then put the stickers on the equipment. And it works great because I had a Terex. We worked on an old Terex machine, and the Terex wanted like $700 for the sticker package on that thing, and I think Sticker It there did it for under $100. I usually put all my stickers on myself, but we are here to take a look at the wrap. Now they came and they measured the car already. Then they went online and grabbed a generic or a picture of the Audi and then wrote down the measurements of it, and then I had to get what was in my head into my mouth, out of my mouth, and then display it to them. So we'll see how they're making out.
Basically what I'm doing is just taking the
Nice.
line drawings and getting them into the template and...
Yeah. All right, so we are here with Dwayne from DNA Designs, who came through and made us a shifter and airbrushed a helmet for us. So I just want to give a big shout out to Dwayne. Thank you very much. And I actually am really excited about this. A couple days before the before we leave, and oh, look at that, all painted up. Nice. Oh, love it. And you even got the numbers in the right spot. Nice. So this was done on CNC?
Yes.
Yeah, nice. And I'm really excited for this. Now, you guys haven't seen the wrap yet, but I imagine.
Yeah, it was kind of going in blind.
Yeah, we sent some ideas out over the internet, and this is what he came up with. So, I bought the helmet, had it shipped here, tried it on. Yep, it fits, and then mailed it over right away. Look at that, DeBoss Garage, big old Canadian flag on it. That is incredible. Very cool. Thank you very much, Dwayne.
You're welcome. I was kind of had some different design kind of going in my head, but I thought with just having the maple leaf on it,
Yeah.
instead of trying to
Yeah.
kind of make a flag out of it. There we go.
Yeah, love it.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
So yeah, it's all been completely airbrushed. Started with a white helmet. Of course, we do the lettering as well.
Well, thank you very much, Dwayne. It looks incredible. Like that
My pleasure.
just having that on the hood with the wrap, man.
I'd be interested to see what he comes up with the wrap and see
Yeah,
how close
yeah.
we got.
Yeah.
It'd be fun to see.
What do you think, Steven? How's it feel? Does it everything you thought it would with the shifter?
Yeah.
I gotta sit in there yet.
You filming?
What a mess.
Here, pull it out. Oh, broken glass on the car. Ah.
That's why I put the pizza box in there. You get what you pay for, Rich. Alright? So I made a box to hold the shifter up. I started with this lovely creation. I used parts of it.
And I told him that if I was to hop in a race car and
look,
see that, that
perfect.
would give me zero confidence in driving the car. Like, that thing is disgusting.
Yeah, but at least I made it, not somebody else. I didn't pay someone else to make it. So anyway, then I'm like, yeah, you know what? I could do a lot better. So then I used one piece of sheet, wrapped it around, bent the corners, and then welded a piece on the back. And right now I'm just making some little tabs to hold the shifter in place. And where's our boot? Where's that old boot? There it is. And then we took this boot off the Mazda outside. I cut it a bit to fit. It's a little ghetto, but it's gonna work. Just like this whole car.
All right, we got all hands on deck. It's Saturday. I need to finish the car today and tomorrow. Then Monday, Tuesday, it's going to get wrapped. Monday, Tuesday, while it's getting wrapped, I gotta go over my truck. I gotta fix the one oil leak yet and just make sure that it's good to go. We've got a trailer from V&R, 22-foot trailer that we're gonna take down with us. Yeah, Stefan is an excellent supervisor of Steve replacing the brakes on the right-hand side. We've got the brakes on the left already, and we put tie downs in the trailer to strap the car down. We got Rick blending in the sunroof and the door handles, getting ready for the wrap. We've got Devin sanding down my runs that when I painted it, that was a bad idea, painting at 2 in the morning. And I thought, oh, you know what? It's on the rotisserie, I'll just rotate it so it doesn't run. And then I had some paint left over and I just sloshed it nice and thick. Don't do that. And then we've got Dwayne, who's building a fire shield for where the intake comes in through the firewall. So getting the machinist, his hands dirty. We got a shifter boot, we got a shifter. And tomorrow we'll focus on boxing in the turbos and building the back window. And then, yeah, we're getting there. So I'm still feeling pretty confident. Great group of guys here helping out. You missed a spot, keep going.
Oh, come on!
And yeah, we'll see what happens. So here we go.
Doing the cheese. A little bit of Bondo. This is wrapping, so you don't have to do too much. That might be perfect. He doesn't want too much weight on here. When we did hot rods back in the day, they all had fabric roofs. You had to cut out the roof and put one in. If I keep doing this long enough, I have no tattoos.
All right, so what we're trying to work on now is figuring out how to get the splitter with some tension rods. We're trying to figure out an anchor point somewhere inside the bumper to then run the tension rods through and then have them hook into the splitter itself. And then that way we can kind of keep the splitter from jostling when Rich is doing 140 miles an hour in this thing. So that is the plan currently. It's just a matter of how we want it to look and where we want everything to go.
The last of the paint. Just like new.
It's alive again.
Will it roll? Will it roll? Oh, I know it will. Yeah.
I can see you smiling.
That's man concentrating. You want a cordless heat gun, don't you?
Yeah. Sometimes I wish.
All right, it's Tuesday night. It is what, 2 in the morning? Again? Something like that. Anyway.
Don't pay attention to the time.
Got quite a bit done. Cleaned up some of the wiring on the engine. Cleaned up the wiring inside the cab. Stefan made, basically the other night, he made the bottom of this. I'm gonna silicone that in tomorrow. He made plexiglass or Lexan for the top, and then he sealed it off down here too. So coming from in there now, that will be 100% covered for keeping the exhaust out. And there's the piece for the top. We've got the front skirt brace. We got this braced. That needs a little bit more work. That was Steve. He helped us out with that. And Mike did a bunch of wiring. And then I built the dash today. So you can see the dash there. This also supports the steering wheel. And goes around the bar, got some nice rubber there. So now this is super solid. I still want to cover the steering wheel so it doesn't look like ass. But anyway, the iPad's mounted there. We'll put a cigarette lighter there yet so we can charge it while we drive. Some more Lexan. So we got the wrap partially done. As you can see the finish on it, which is like a, if you imagine your stainless steel fridge, it looks like that except darker. And tomorrow the graphics will be going on it. So tomorrow morning, first thing, we're taking it for an alignment. The afternoon, we're putting the rest of the decals on. And then at night, we have to finish up the back bumper and install the fans. All the wiring's run for that, clean up the trunk area. And then Thursday, we're leaving. Originally, we were hoping to leave on Tuesday so we could have Thursday, Friday to just find a track and drive around. It is now Thursday. Sorry I haven't been videotaping, should have been doing a lot more, but we have not stopped. I haven't got more than 4 hours of sleep at a time in one day. Mike is upstairs sleeping. He pulled an all-nighter last night. Finished up a lot of the few things on the car. The alignment took 6 hours because I don't know what the issue was, but set it up for road racing, so it's 2 degrees negative camber and a toe out, slight toe out. We were supposed to get it alignment done in the morning and then back for a wrap in the afternoon, and that didn't happen because of the 6-hour thing. So it's actually getting wrapped now. Thursday morning we will grab it on the way, throw it in the truck, and then head to the border. So hopefully it'll be a long night of driving. I just cut out a couple holes for the exhaust in the back and painted the back bumper. We'll have to put the scoop on at the car show, I guess. Just gotta check my tire pressures, retorqued all my tires, trailer and truck, checked all my fluids, so I think I'm okay. And then from there we'll figure out what happens, I guess. So hopefully we make it. We're not too tired. We are all very tired. Aaron's still editing. I'm waiting for him to show up. So yeah, power steering pump went bad. So that one's supposed to show up today. If it doesn't, Tuesday's taking it. Andy's taking it to Florida with us. And we also had the master cylinder and the clutch go bad. So that is showing up at the hotel desk in Florida. So we can install that there too. Which reminds me, I need the vacuum cleaner. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll call and see how the wrap's going, and then I'll go from there. I almost forgot this magic tool. Cannot forget that. So yeah, we got a special guest that's gonna come with us. We're looking forward to that. He's pretty excited about the Quattro. Been hanging out in the background. Yeah, you got it? 20 after 12, you're 20 minutes late. Yeah, we're on our way. We'll come grab it right now. I gotta wash my hands, change my clothes, and then, yeah, we'll see you right there. Yeah, nothing like last minute, eh? All right, yep, bye. Yeah, so they just finished the wraps, 20 after 12. We're hoping to leave at 12. I think we got everything. I got a bunch of tape boxes that my wife has to mail yet. And I think that's it. We're on our way. Does it make your approval, Aaron?
Yeah, I'd say so.
left at 1:30 yesterday afternoon, which would have been Thursday afternoon. We drove pretty well straight through. Well, there's three of us. Steve is behind us in a Ford. So we just kind of rotated, took turns kind of sleeping, and then we all crashed for about an hour and a half in a parking lot. Right at 4 a.m. we just couldn't keep going. So then hopped to it again. We got a call from Rob that we have to go to Ocala first, and we're gonna get the tires swapped. We're gonna get the Michelins put on the Audi, and then we're going to Orlando for the car show. We'll be back in Ocala tomorrow again. So basically, we're scheduled to, as it sits right now, we'll be in Ocala at about 1:30. So that'll be a full 24-hour drive that it took for us to get from Dunville to Florida. Truck ran really good, other than my gauges quit. So we just kind of every 6 hours just fill up again. We're roughly 600-700 kilometers to a tank. And yeah, no flat tires, nothing stupid. So as long as nothing happens in the next 5 hours, we should be good to meet up with Rob. But anyway, we'll see you guys in about 5 hours. Here we go.